And just as we start recording, oh no, there's still nobody there. Okay, so all right. So you went through the sales element and how I mean basically it's the pre-sale really what Ray is talking about mostly. It's what's going to set you up to sell your program. So why don't you give me some feedback on that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting in the sense that how he actually structured. It's like the bribe. If you do this, and then how much is it, and then so I found that particularly useful. It's something that I am also trying to structure some of my programs in terms of how am I going to cater for different types of audience. I found that the hybrid learning approach that he shared was a good learning for me because it's something that I am also practicing in the office where I do training and then we have one-to-one coaching, and after we have that one-to-one coaching, there is a follow-up together with the other participants 1 or 2 months later, and they all will share their learnings and all that. And then we have another round of coaching sessions. So it sounds a little bit like the hybrid that he was talking about. The only difference that I saw is he introduced the element where there's face-to-face plus online or e-learn that's also mixed up together. So that is one element that currently I am not doing. Otherwise, there's a lot of similarity that in terms of what he shared. Yeah.
All right. Now, what about so there's also the element of pre-branding, and that's really going to be one of the keys as well I mean, at the end of the day, everybody that's going to be signing up to your program, they're not signing up because you have knowledge. They're signing up because you have the ability to help them create some kind of specific result. I mean, at the end of the day, that's it.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? So they are here, okay, in whatever area that you're in. So for example, in your case, they're in a relationship, for example, okay, or maybe, let's just do the relationship one since, that's one of your things. So they are here. Maybe they have an okay relationship. Maybe they don't have a good relationship. Maybe they have no relationship at all. Anyway, they are in this position and they feel that there is something more that they can attain. Okay, so they want to go here. This is the what they want to achieve. They don't care about your knowledge. What they care about is, can you bring them from here to here?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's really it. Now, how you do that is going to be largely dictated by what you say compared to what everybody else says, because people are, it's not like before where, you just happen to be the loudest person in the room and you get business. Right now, people are, I mean, they can see everything. They are constantly bombarded with retargeting. The moment that they click on any relationship improvement link, they're going to get thousands and thousands of others on Instagram, on Facebook, on CNN, on anywhere they go related to relationship improvement.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the structure of the internet and retargeting. So that in itself is going to be the competition. Now, what makes you stand out in the competition, if you're familiar with the blue ocean concept. Okay, the blue ocean concept is, do you have something that nobody else has, right? Or is your way of doing it, and I'm not sure, did I go through this with you with like the colored brain, for example, on how we did this with colored brain?
You probably might have. I cannot really remember.
All right, well, if I did, let me know if this sounds familiar, because I mean, I'm doing so many of these things and they all get mixed up where I actually said what, right? So all right, so for example, colored brain is a psychometric tool, right? And are a lot of psychometric tools, and there are and some, for example, DISC and BTI and some of the others. Of course, they're much more popular than Colored Brain. So, being a psychometric tool, regardless of the fact that it doesn't measure the same thing, people don't know that. What they do is they basically put it all into the same space. Okay, same thing with relationships. Okay, or same thing with financial development or even hypnosis. Okay, all of these things that even safety for that matter, or everything is basically bunched into, oh, it's another commodities trading program, it's another relationship program, it's another psychometric tool. Okay, because this is what they see. So what we did is, well, of course, I mean, it required some work because we did some additional research. And this additional research basically helped us to get published in some scientific journals where we basically named the process of getting clarity, the brain's ambiguity relief process. Okay, so there's all kinds of studies on various other things that we that were cited for the research and everything else, but there was nothing on how people get clarity. So by using other people's research, we were able to leverage on all of these different scientific journals and experiments to create basically this plus the data that we had from our website. So what we did after that, instead of trying to sell Colored Brain, because Colored Brain is another psychometric test, what we did is we wrote articles, did videos, and we created an awareness that essentially the root cause, or one of the root causes of why trust and synergy break down in groups or couples in this even, is because of different ambiguity relief processes. Okay, and because now what we're doing is we're essentially teaching people, rather than trying to sell them something, we're teaching them about the brain's ambiguity relief process. Because there is literally only one tool that deals with the brain's ambiguity relief process, which is Colored Brain. And of course, when it's Colored Brain, because it's Colored Brain, that means that anybody that wants to solve one of these root causes of trust are basically going to go to a Colored Brain certified trainer consultant, because that is where they need to, that's the only place they can go, because there's nobody else. So in the case of creating your brand, by creating a problem that basically only your process can help, that's where you're creating that blue ocean for your program. And even the same thing we did with Dr. Hanan Salim, okay? So she's doing one of our expert MBA programs, in which what we did with her is she came up with this thing called Healology. So Healology is basically the combination of science and wellness and natural healing stuff and everything. And so when she tried to explain it to people, like, they don't know, didn't really get it, right? And she's a pharmacist and doctor, and she's got all these awards and everything else, but people still didn't get it. So anyway, when we worked with her, what we did is we looked at what she had, and one of the things that she had was basically there's these elements that kind of compound each other and everything else. So we asked her to essentially do further research on those elements, and we named those elements chronic biodisruption. Okay, and each one of those 6 elements were chronic biodisruptors. And so now she's got, like, if you have chronic biodisruptor at this level, then at this level, and they all compound and everything else. So now, instead of selling Healology, what she's doing is educating people on chronic biodisruption and how it's affecting you and how it's affecting your energy and how it's affecting your focus and all of, these things based on, where it can potentially even lead to diabetes and cancer. And all of this stuff is the only solution is Healology.
Right. Okay.
Right. So I want you to think of in the case of your business, okay? So for example, okay, as a relationship, well, okay, great. You've got the relationship, but what is it? What is it that is a defined problem that you can name and define? Okay, see, that's the thing, is the ability to define a person's problem in such a way where they go, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what is it that you can define and create for, you know, that where your client or your potential client looks at it and says, oh my gosh, this guy knows my problem. Okay. And then of course, the only way to have a solution for that problem is your course.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And again, if it could be for relationships, for hypnosis. Okay. There's a lot of people that do hypnosis. Okay. But the question is,
yeah,
what is that one problem that nobody else has defined in such a way that your specific hypnosis solution will be able to solve?
Right. Right. So it's more of providing a solution rather than just, you know, dishing out a program, right?
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is that before you can give a solution, you have to clearly define a unique process and problem. See, I mean, for example, okay, ambiguity relief didn't exist before we did the research, and ambiguity relief research was done specifically around the colored brain model.
Right.
Okay. And same thing with Dr. Hanan's thing. Okay, she had these problems that she solved, but she hadn't defined the problems. She hadn't named them. Right? So people didn't really know, and people couldn't understand. So when you clearly define and name the problem, so again, ambiguity relief is a real thing that is a real root cause problem. Okay, why trust fails. Okay, and it's but if you actually look at it, all of the research essentially goes back to how essentially colored brain can identify and measure the brain's ambiguity relief process, and how, you know, inside of the system you can do it. Speaking of which, by the way, did you guys invite each other so that you can be inside of the system, or are you by yourself inside the system? Colored brain system. Inside the colored brain dashboard.
I didn't invite anyone. I don't know if anybody has invited me.
Okay, so one thing, okay, again, connecting people, getting people to be kind of together, and especially in this kind of a thing is going to be a very useful element. So if you can invite each other, so first of all, you take the colored brain test, okay, which you've already done, right? Okay, and then inside there's a big blue button. It says invite friends. So you can invite each other. So you can invite Johannes, you can invite Afnan, you can invite Prabha, and invite your wife as well.
Okay.
I mean, Prabha, Johannes, and Afnan already have the test. So if you invite them, they don't have to, you know, pay any codes or anything. But I can also, the code that I gave you, you can use that to invite one more person. So you can use the same code for your wife.
Okay.
Each of you.
Yeah. Cool. We'll do that.
Okay. So that way you don't have to pay for that. So anyway, that's because again, remember, we want to have all of these different ways where you can connect people and get them into a community. Your course by itself is not going to be a community. Right? So when like, for example, right now, today we had the graduation for the new DC trainers. So we had a whole graduation ceremony online. We shook hands. We did the music, and we had, the presentation of certificates, and, the speeches, everything. It was fun. Okay. And then what happened was, after that, we went ahead and, so these people are now part of a larger community where we always communicate on WhatsApp, and and on Facebook, and basically are part of this community where we're sharing ideas and collaborating and sending each other for different programs and you know, different kinds of things, right? So all of this stuff is part of the community. It's a tribe. It's a, and you know, and in this tribe, you've got people who are literally supporting each other, because you know, and you get this kind of sense of belonging, and because of that, you know, there's people that not only buy one program, but you know, they also buy other programs. I mean, just for example, we've got this big project or potential project in Saudi, and so you know, because of the people that have gone through the culture certification, and you know, of course they're DC certified. So the people that have gone through the culture certification, in addition to the DC thing, to the DC certification, they're also, you know, we bringing a whole bunch of them in to do this big project in Saudi. So again, it's a communication and support and everything community that also can lead to that can also lead to actual improvement of your business. So that means, so this is, you know, it also gives additional incentives for people to be involved, because, you know, you know, we've sent people to Kazakhstan, Qatar, you know, all over the place, because they're part of this community. So it's not just a feeling good thing. There's also a profit element to the community as well. And where you can do that, regardless of what it is that you have, right? You can, and it doesn't have to be profit, you know, for relationships. But, you know, whatever it is that you have, whatever your class is, that element can really, you know, that community can really support people to feel good about their interaction and activity inside of the community. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Prabha, are you driving and
Yeah,
participating at the same time? That is so unsafe, man.
yeah, there's no so unsafe, Prabha. I'm a safety person.
So unsafe. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. So anyway, Muniz, why don't you go ahead and tell Prabha and Afnan a little bit about what we discussed about the elements of branding and pre-branding and creating the blue ocean.
Okay.
In summary.
Yeah, so I mean, Arthur was asking me about what are some of my key takeaways, and a few things actually came to me, and one is about really giving a solution to our clients. It's not just the program itself, but rather a solution. But before we before you even go into the solution bit, right? We need to define and provide clarity to exactly what is it that they require. Like, for example, if in the case of, say, relationship, we need to build a story in such a way that when the person listens to the story and reads about it, right, he will go like, yeah, this guy really knows what I'm going through, and this is the guy that I want to speak to. Because for example, you talk about relationship, or you talk about hypnosis, or you talk about body language, or even safety, right? We are not the only service providers, or we are not the only trainers out there. There are thousands out there in the market, right? So how do we distinguish ourselves? How do we brand ourselves in such a way that people will look for us instead of the others, right? So this is where the before we actually go into the market itself, we need to do a little bit of analysis in terms of how we want to position ourselves, so that when people look us up, it can be in any form. They can look us up in many ways, in terms of the publications that we have, or it can be the brand name that we have created, or it can be word of mouth or whatever. But online is how are they going to search for us and know that we exist and we will be able to provide value? So we need to start thinking about that, and providing a value proposition to the client in such a way that, you know, they say, this is the guy that I'm looking for. That's pretty much in summary what we were talking about. And then of course we talked about other things where, you know, like for example, when you do a program, like just we did the colored brain, it's good for us to sort of introduce this to the others. So others will also know a little bit about this, you know, and then you are, in a way, what you're trying to do is you're trying to invoke curiosity in their minds. You say, hey, this is pretty interesting. This model of you know, sort of a personality, or it can be totally different, is some sort of an assessment. It's pretty intriguing because I really want to know more about myself. I want to better myself. So you want to create that kind of a pull factor from the participants. So that's, I hope I summarized our discussion.
Okay, Johannes, anything to add?
You're on mute. Johannes, you're on mute.
No, because I left also when I joined.
Okay. Let me kind of give a little bit more on that then. Okay, so anyway, the idea is not just to have a unique selling proposition. It's just that create, you know, define the problem in such a way where the only solution is your solution. Okay, so for example, what Muniz was talking about, the colored brain. Okay, colored brain essentially, just to give you a little more statistics, which I didn't give you before. Okay, when we were selling colored brain about maybe 3 years ago, roughly, I mean, we were doing okay. But the moment that we did a little bit of extra research and we stopped selling colored brain. Instead, what we did was we wrote articles and we communicated about the brain's genetic ambiguity relief process. So the brain's genetic ambiguity relief process is basically one of the root causes of why trust breaks down and why communication and synergy breaks down. Okay, but the only solution, the only tool that is out there that basically measures and identifies the ambiguity relief process is colored brain. So by talking about that problem and defining that problem in such a way where people go, yes, this is why trust breaks down. Yeah, I can see how you know, the communication element is costing us money, and you know, why, you know, we're not really trusting each other, and why we're not opening up because we don't trust each other, and why we're not innovating because we don't trust each other, and all of these different things. And they can see all these little root cause elements of why people, you know, of things that people don't say, but is inside of their brain, and all of these different things. And then they go, my gosh, yeah, that's right. And so then now the only solution is to go and find a colored brain certified trainer or consultant, because there's nothing else. If they type in ambiguity relief, okay, it's always going to be related back to colored brain. Same thing with, I was talking about one of our clients that, you know, that we helped to build her business, Dr. Hanan, and she had this helology thing, okay? And oh, sorry, just a little bit on colored brain. We had a 1,600% increase in sales on colored brain after we started doing that. 1,600%, okay? So I mean, just that switch in how people are doing things, just that one switch in how you connect the problem and define the problem to the end result. Okay, so you have a huge impact on that. So just, you know, and again, I mean, like I said before, we were just another psychometric tool, and yeah, maybe, you know, it was fun, it was pretty, we had our own little things about, yes, we're not measuring personality and all this stuff, but you know what? People don't care because they just see, oh, it's another one of those. But when you define it, that's really the key, when you define that problem. And so like Dr. Hanan she had a solution, and she said, yeah, we help you to be healthy, so you have more focus, all this stuff, all the benefits. Great. But it's the same as everybody else's. And because it's the same as everybody else's, you are stuck into one space. Oh, you're a wellness and health person. Okay, but I don't like the way that you look, or I don't like the dress you're wearing, or whatever. So you don't speak fast enough for me to understand. So I'm not, I like this person better. Okay. So that's one that, but what we did with her is we created a whole series of things called chronic biodisruptors, which were actually part of her research, but she didn't really define them. And we defined them, we gave them a name, chronic biodisruption. And the problem was chronic biodisruption, and there are these 6 different chronic biodisruptors, and each of them literally were, so now what was done is she now educated people about chronic biodisruption. And because of that education, the only solution was her Healology solution. Nobody else. Okay, and so these are the concepts of not just defining being better and explaining this is who I want to work with, but finding that part of whatever it is that you do that is completely unique, and naming it in such a way where basically nobody else has that thing. Okay, and yours is the only solution. So for example, you're doing some handwriting analysis and stuff. There's thousands of people that do handwriting analysis, but combined with color and handwriting and this and that and all these other things as a package, there is a specific problem you solve. But is the problem defined and named? Don't talk benefits. Okay, educate people on the real problem, name the problem, so that you're the only thing that, the only person that really, can solve that problem. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's the element of, when you're putting that together in your course, okay, I mean, that's the course. Everybody goes for benefits. Oh, you get this, you benefit this, like, oh, you'll be this, go take this course, you'll make $1 million in 2 months. Okay. And just a note, okay, have you ever seen these people that they'll do these videos like, yeah, I'm making $100,000 a week, man, and I'm gonna teach you exactly how I do it, and the background is this like room where there's like paint peeling off the walls, okay, and they got this old air conditioner and this old whiteboard in the back and stuff. I mean, it's not really very credible. Right? So you got to create whenever you're doing any kind of promotion or even the online program itself, create something that is going to be more professional. And again, even like the Zoom backgrounds, okay? Create your own Zoom background with, like your branding on it and everything else when you're doing any kind of online programs. Okay, so that is, one of the things that we were talking about mostly. And then the other element, of course, was the community, which you guys walked in on. Before and to illustrate this, what I'd like you to do is, do you guys have each other's email addresses?
Yep.
Okay, so go into your Colored Brain system. Go into your Colored Brain dashboard. Okay, where you took the test. You remember you took the test. You've got your dashboard. And there's a big button, okay, where it says, see my results. There's a big blue button that says invite friends. And I want you to invite each other. Invite each other. Prabha, I wouldn't recommend you do that at the moment, since you're driving.
I've parked my car, never mind, later I'll do.
Okay. But you can invite Prabha. All he has to do is accept, and both of you are already connected. Okay, so now what will happen when you do this is you're going to see each other, and you're going to see who's in your danger zone, and you're going to see, how to work better together, and how to communicate better, how to have a better relationship. So you're going to see all these little things in there. And because of that, now you kind of get a little bit of fun and you can start playing with each other. But now indirectly, you are essentially getting to know each other, even though you're already on the course and stuff. But when you have a little bit of more depth of understanding with each other and you kind of know each other a little bit more, it helps to create that community. And whenever we're talking about marketing and building our business, especially when it comes to working online and creating online courses, okay, creating that community is going to be essential. But the only reason that a community stays together if there is value. So give your community value, or facilitate value from the members of that community. Okay, you guys in? Invited? And invite me too. All right. And once you are done, okay, because you only need to invite like about 3 people.
The CBCI code is what code is that?
CBCI what?
There's a CBCI code.
No, you don't need to do that because you already took it, remember? Except for your wife, in which case then you give them the same code as you had before.
Okay, hang on a minute. Afnan.
So if somebody has already taken the test, you don't need to give them a code because they're already in there. The code is only if you want somebody to take the test using that code.
Okay, finish in all.
Sorry, Johannes?
Finish in all.
Finished?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you should have somebody inside of your email box. Okay, you actually should have people in there.
We have 4 people. Current invitees.
Okay, done.
Okay, done? Okay, so all you need to do is now accept each other. Do you accept each other? Go to your email, accept the links.
no email come to my email.
I think it went to.
Check your spam and make sure you mark it as not spam.
Then it goes to me too. Also, I didn't receive anything.
I just activated one person. I think it went to
I got one from Muniz, which I accepted, and I got one from Johannes.
I've just accepted Johannes.
Yes, already.
Yeah.
The police
You got mine?
get email. Yes, I check already complete.
Resend. Huh?
Okay? You in?
But I'm not good. Email.
You see each other? You see each other inside?
Still pending. Still pending status.
Pending.
Yeah.
Yes, me also just one completed. Bonus complete.
I didn't receive any emails yet.
Me too, me too. I think maybe my phone is using, so I couldn't get any email.
Are you checking on your spam folder also?
Yeah.
No, not.
Not spam. The inbox also not get.
I didn't receive anything.
I tried to click resend email to all.
I mean I got yours, so I can see you. You have to be logged in, which you are right now, and then when you're in there, it automatically show your results. So I can see Muniz and Johannes inside of mine. Here, let me share.
I can see your is completed, but I can't. Afnan and Prabha still pending.
No, I didn't get any email.
Okay, let's see which email was in queue.
I already can see Muniz is a blue brain.
Hey, there you go. So here is, so for example, here's mine. Okay, and so we go over here. Okay, and oh, look at that. We have Muniz right here in my danger zone. Uh-oh, Muniz. Big problems. But fortunately, it doesn't have a little skull and crossbones on there, so we're all good. And I got Johannes right here. Okay, and so basically now you can see all of the people, and you can, all you need to do, for example, is go here. Let's say, for example, we want to be a better leader to this person. Okay, then we go ahead and just kind of open that up, and it gives you a little pop-up as soon as everything kind of, the internet seems to be a little slow, but Okay. You guys, anyway, internet seems to be a little slow. How you guys? Okay. Y'all, did you get them in?
It's very slow.
I also have facing problem. To connect to my email. And I think even my office is
Okay. So anyway, the point of this is to create a situation where people are able to connect with each other and kind of see each other. Okay, so if you're in a group, okay, and of course, ideally, you're going to be in a group larger than 4 people, right? So when you're doing your training, you're probably going to be in bigger, in a like a bigger type of group, okay? So, then you can actually get people to see, for example, like, okay, so here, how to have a better relationship with your blue brain friends, and it tells you all the stuff right here, okay? And you want to be a better leader, okay? So it'll tell you all of the different things that you need in order to be a better leader, and you can go over here with the different colors, and it'll show you additional insights, better communication with these different people and so on. And it tells you what to do and how to do it. And this basically kind of, gets people interested in whatever ideas you're doing. And plus it brings people together overall as a community. So the community element is important. Okay. So all of these things are part of the marketing. What can you offer people, once they're inside of your system, okay? How do you get them to basically buy your stuff? What are the things that you offer them? Do you offer them community? Do you offer them the solution to the only solution to a problem that you have defined? All of these things are part of the bigger picture. And remember that once they're inside of your class, that is only the beginning of the journey. So what's next? Where can you take them to the next level? How can you support them to achieve more? The more successful you help to make them in whatever it is that they're trying to achieve, the more they're going to want to get more stuff from you. Okay, so that so that's why I wanted you to go into the system at least, so you can kind of see a little bit more about what you guys or how you guys are working together. I mean, in the system, normally what we do is one code automatically connects everybody, so people can see it in that way. But I didn't do it in this particular case. In some cases, you've got different people from different countries that may not be so happy, especially European countries, when it's like GDRP and it's like, oh my gosh, you've included me in and this person can see me and that's violating my privacy. So, that's why it's, you gotta sometimes be a little careful with that. But one of the things that we normally do in these is everybody's automatically connected, so you don't have to invite each other. But so anyway, so the idea is essentially, I mean, whether it's a WhatsApp group, whether it's a Facebook page, I mean, find a way to connect and communicate with your people. Okay. So hey, you guys did any questions so far?
No.
I guess that means no, right? Okay. All right. So did you guys get the pictures that I asked you for your homework?
Yeah.
yes.
You did? You got the pictures and you got the statements
Yeah.
or words?
Yeah.
Okay. So so right now, rather than going through this, there's some stuff. There's in the next set of videos, there's going to be some stuff related to slides.
Okay.
Okay. Now, okay, when we're doing the slides, okay, I want you to look at some of the samples and also the concept behind it. But here's the thing, okay, everything that we've just talked about, all of the marketing stuff, all the stuff that sets you apart, everything that we talked about, the community, I want you to now look at these images and look at these statements and incorporate some of these marketing elements that we're talking about here. Okay, and you've seen the marketing videos as well, so they, you know, include some of the other elements of the marketing videos. Okay, and now what I want you to do for this with these images and these statements is you're going to put a slide deck together with 5 slides. Okay, so you're going to go through the videos. Okay, and you're going to put a slide deck together with 5 slides, and it needs to be in line with this very specific, only I can solve your problem type branding. Okay, and remember that the slides should at least have some consistency, the type of slides you do, some consistency with the slides. So it's very important to come up with a style that is going to be relevant to the things you do. Now, you know, you can go for the generic stuff. That's okay too, but remember that even the generic stuff has got to have at least the phrases, the simple elements. Each image or each phrase has to essentially be one topic. So you don't want to go into, you know, kind of things, right? So all of the images, okay, and the statements, phrases, words that you've chosen, we're going to make a 5-slide deck, okay? And you're going to present that deck using postures and kind of give us some stuff. And so the next one, go through the whole thing on slides and the other elements of presentation, plus of course the postures. And then we'll meet when? When do you guys want to meet? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm okay tomorrow.
Are you guys okay tomorrow? Everybody okay tomorrow?
Tomorrow, what time, Mr.
2 o'clock
Tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
or 10 o'clock? Which one do you want?
In my mind, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock it is. Okay.
2.
Quick question, Arthur.
Yes.
So how many sessions are we going to have some more? Because I also need to schedule my sessions, you know, so I'm just holding all these training sessions until I complete this, you see. So I just want to know a rough
No,
idea.
we're almost done. We're almost done. You know, we've got a few, let me just check really quick. Okay, so the, yeah, basically, I mean, we have 2 more sessions to go after this.
Okay.
2 more sessions.
2 more sessions.
Okay, so there's 1 and then 2 more after that, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so the so anyway, we will have so roles, delegation, you know, the different roles. You're going to go through that, but also the slides. Okay, so I just go through the next videos that are there, and we're going to do the slides, and then after that, it's just 2 more sessions after that, and that's it. We're finished. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. You know that later on you'll miss us, Muniz.
Of course. No, the thing is, because I just need a rough idea so that I can plan the programs. I'm putting all on hold for the time being. Yeah.
Okay, but you're finding this valuable, right?
Of course. Of course.
Okay, just checking. Got to make sure you're getting the value that you need in order to be more successful.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
All right.
Okay.